Shh. Iho. E aha te hau e wawara e wawara. He tiu he raki, he tiu he raki. Nāna ia mai te puputara ki hiki uta e tikina e au te kōtu koi ara te pauwhakairo katu ki te wai te mata i oku wairangitangi e. Tiha e mauri ora ki te whai au ki te omarama. Kei te kite au e kua hora ngā kai kei mua i a tātou e hoi anō tēnei te tuku i ngā whakaro ki a rātou. Rātou kua huri tuara mai rā ki a mātou, rātou ki a rātou. Tātou ki a tātou te pitoro no reira, mauri ora ki a tātou. Mauri ora ki a tātou i raro tonu i ngā huatanga o te wai whakakorikori nei i a tau o tira tātou te tangata. Tēnei ahau, he iti no te kāinga, ki tērā taha, ki o rākei, Ngāti Whātua, te tāu, te uringutu, ko ngāho tēnei te mihi atu nei, kia koutou, nau mai haere mai. Nau mai haere mai ki runga o Waipapa, nau mai haere mai ki runga o te ako o te tui, puke kawa, puke karoro, te waikoanga, tēnei te mihi atu nei kia koutou, kei aku rangatira, ngā hauewha, ngā mātā waka, mana nui, tapu nui, he roto i a koutou, nau mai, haere mai. Nau mai, haere mai i raro te tāhuhu tēnei tō tātou whare. Tēnei whare manaaki, tēnei whare maumahara ki a rātou ngā hōia. Ngā hōia i whakarere atu ki tā wāhi, ki te pakanga o te ora, te pakanga mo te apōpōtanga tēnei, ko ngā hua, kua pai nei no reira, mauri ora ki a tātou katoa. Tēnei te mihi anō hoki kia koutou, te rangatira Rachel koutou tō tīma, ngā ringaringa ngā waiwai whakatū nei, e o ngā tūāhuatanga, hei aha, hei whakanui, hei whakarewa, i ngā hunga, i ngā rōpū, e kaha whawhai nei, e kaha pakanga nei, mo enei tūāhuatanga, mo ngā take o te taiao, te whakapiki, te mauri o te taiao, te rangi, te whenua, tatu atu rā, ki ngā wai kōkoru, tai atu rā, kia tangaroa, kia hine moana, tēnei au ka mihi, tēnei au ka mihi, tēnei au ka mihi. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor and privilege on behalf of the home people, Ngāti Whātua o Rākei, hapu, te tau, te uringotu, ngāho, welcome you here today. Welcome you here to Tāmaki Paingahira, our whare that hosts us here today. Welcome you here to Waipapa, the stream that just flows down the side of the land here. Te Ako Te Tui, another stream that flows down on the back end of the land here. Puke Karoro, Puke Kawa, and Waiko Koanga, greet you once, twice, and thrice. Tonight, I just want to acknowledge Rachel and the team, those that have put the awards together. Also want to acknowledge those that have been fighting the good fight for better sustainable practices in your own work streams, in your own organisations, and in your communities. On behalf, again, of Ngāti Whātua Rākei, I'd like to mihi to you all. I'm not the songbird of the iwi, so I'm not going to sing for you fellas tonight. I'm going to say opening karakia, open us up in prayer, so that our night is a joyous one and an eventful night. But I need your fellas' help. And so it goes like this. When I say tuturo whiti whakamaua kia tina, you say? Yeah, some of you have played this before. Let's go. All right. Tuturo whiti whakamaua kia tina. Tuturo whiti whakamaua kia tina. Okay, kia karaki a tātou. Te rai a te mātauranga te pākaru mai nei, he uru tau, he uru matua. He uru tawito ki e nei pūkenga, ki e nei wānanga, ki e ke ai te tohinga nuku, te tohinga rangi, ki te wai otua, ki te wai wakaika. Te wai ki e nei tauira, he wai tapu, he wai nui, he wai ora. Ka pipi ka wawai, ka pōrutu, ka mānunu, ki te moko pūtaura rangi, he ari ki hatupua. Tāwhaki nui a he mata ki na mai rā, te kupu atua, nuku atua i rangi, ki runga ki e nei hunga, ngā manga o te akamatua e tū nei. Nau ko wāhia roa ko rātā, ko tūwhakararo, ko whakatau pōtiki, ko rongo mai, ko au ko Ngāti Whātua oi. He kauri tūwao, he matakahi ki te ara, o reo kia rere, o reo kia tika, o reo kia Māori. Ko te kaha ke au, ko te kaha ke ia tātou, he kaha atua tini tini, he kaha atua mano mano, ka puta ki te whaiau, puta ki te ao marama, tūturu e rangi, tūturu e papa, tūturu whakamaua kia tīna. Tūturu ko e nei pūkenga, e nei wānanga, e nei taura, tūturu o whiti whakamaua kia tīna. Tūturu o whiti ki e nei tohu, e whakarewa nei, e whakaihi nei i o tātou mahi, tūturu o whiti whakamaua kia tīna. Haumi e, hui e, Tai ki e, mauri ora kia tātou. E kara, e reira, kei a koe te rākau kōrero e hoa, nau te wā. Tēnā tātou. Thank you, Kingi Iho. What a beautiful opening. Ko te reira, taku inga wa ko Ngāti Pākehā aho. That will become increasingly obvious through the course of the evening. Hey, welcome to the 2023 Sustainable Business Awards. Let us give everyone who thought of entering, every entrant, every finalist, a massive round of applause at this point in the evening. I just come from a day in the sub-basement of the Aotea Centre discussing the future of artificial intelligence and employment. It seemed a fitting place to be looking at that. And then now here we are discussing in many ways the future of our environment and our people in this incredibly beautiful world. We've got almost a 360-degree view of the beautiful city that we live in, and that extends out to the far horizons of everywhere. What about a round of applause for everybody who put tonight on? We do really appreciate it. Because it's a special occasion. Tonight is the 21st birthday, I'm going to say birthday, of the Sustainable Business Awards, which means before we go, everybody's drinking a yardie. I don't know what people do at 21st. I didn't have one. We might all get like one of those mirrors shaped like a key. Is that a thing? I need to ask like a millennial. What do you do at 21sts? Just a whole lot of woodies and regret. I don't know. Anyway. Hey, we would be remiss not to mention those who can't join us in person tonight. We have a huge audience of online viewers and finalists as well, so a big welcome to them. A welcome to our VIPs, to our award sponsors. Many of our finalists are nervous out there tonight. Welcome to you. To all of their supporters, they are not here in and of themselves. There have been huge support. They have some people with them and then huge numbers of people behind them. All of us have come together to celebrate people whose desire is to create just a better world than the one that we have. For those of you who are familiar with the Sustainable Business Awards, how many people have been to all 21? Oh, Rachel Brown, of course you have. Including the weird one where I was in like a warehouse in like, I don't even know where it was. I've just tried to repress a lot of them. I don't call it the pandemic anymore. I've disempowered it through the use of language. I refer to it simply as the pandy. During the pandy, because language is important, during the pandy when I was stuck in a weird booth speaking to people around the motu, around the brilliant work they did. And here we are again. 21 years of this pre-eminent and New Zealand's longest standing sustainability awards, recognising and celebrating success in Aotearoa. They're more than that as well. In many ways, they are the de facto gathering of the greatest and the finest sustainability champions in the country, and that is each and every one of you. Welcome to this. To set the scene, with a beautiful spoken word artist, award-winning Indigenous climate activist, poet, Pacific youth advocate. Let us now welcome Ainana Lafili Fipule e Tapui Ai to the stage. What about a round of applause?
Salafalava, I'm Angangole Fili Fipule e Tapui. And before I start my piece, I'd just like us all to take a deep breath in, look up, and take a deep breath out. Beautiful, beautiful. And so a lot of the work I'm blessed enough to do is to go out to our Pacific Islands and work with our communities on the ground who are on the front lines of the climate crisis. This poem I'm about to share is dedicated to the many communities across the Pacific who would rather sink with their island than leave their homelands, as well as in dedication to the work you're doing to make sure that they don't have to do that. And so I hope you enjoy. I spent my childhood summers clipping onions, peeling back their layers, my trembling child laborer hands as my mother told me stories of an island in the Pacific she said we descended from, an island my parents grew up on. She tells me my grandparents are buried right outside the doorstep of our family home in Samoa, like many islander families do, that it was a testament to how love transcends lifetimes she tells me. A layer of my world peels itself back, and beneath is a history of navigators, voyagers, storytellers, custodians of land and sea. Beneath are stories of climate resilience, adaptation, a sea of islands connected by the Pacific Ocean that spans 1/3 of the world's surface. As climate change claims its stake on the future our generations inherit. On an island in the South Pacific, people spend their summers building seawalls to keep out the rising tides, brick after brick, stacked in hopes to lessen burn after burn lost through every natural disaster. The Pacific Islands contribute less than 1% of the world's carbon emissions. And yet Tuvalu prepares to be evacuated. Fijian villages must be relocated. Sea levels reach the doorsteps our ancestors are buried near in every Pacific island. Islands with hundreds of years of history are forced to give their own eulogies on world stages so people can care. As foreign eyes deem them pretty enough for a holiday, but not valuable enough to keep above water, they'll be fine if they can pick our fruit, an Australian politician says. There's nothing we can do, a French climate analyst says. Their hands are assertive, dominant. They don't tremble the way my childhood hands once did, but they hold the fate of my homeland, of the Pacific region, as dismissively as they hold meeting notes. Hands so oily, the responsibility slips through their fingers. The survival of my homeland dependent on their net zero pledges. Can they care enough to tremble at the weight of what they hold? Can their fingers learn to be that delicate? Can they peel back their layers, or will they spend their summers clipping the wings of children as long as they aren't their own? Because my biggest fear is that one day my homeland will become nothing more than a story to tell, words to enter the ears of children whose eyes will never get to see their motherland, that my mother's hands will become the only connection to our land left for me to hold, that I'll have to step between my grandparents' headstones, ask them to forgive me, ask them to forgive me for letting the sinking of our island become their second death. And when people say, what's the point in trying to save the islands if they're going to sink anyways? Shouldn't the response be, so what? So what if the world is cruel? So what if it feels like things aren't getting better right now? This world has always been cruel, and haven't we always been beautiful anyways? Just because we weren't sent under the shade of the trees that we plant doesn't mean we stop planting. We care so much about our descendants that it no longer matters whether this world is cruel despite our efforts. The fruits of our labors may not be eaten by us, but they will be eaten, and it will be sweet. Knowing you did everything to prepare for those who come after you is what it takes to be the ancestors our children deserve. So when my children ask me, Mom, what did our people do to save our homeland? I will peel back the layers for them and tell them that every fight, every story, every person who chose to stay with their island even when the water came was a testament to how love transcends lifetimes. Thank you.
Ai nā nala while. What a perfect opening to remind us we're not here because of profits and triple bottom lines and because it's the right thing to do for investment. We're here because everything we do is about people. And I cannot think of a better way to open these awards. So there is one thing
that is also an excellent way that we always have to open these. She has been to all of these because a long time ago she went, you know what, I've got an idea. And I tell you what, we need more people who go, I've got an idea. She is the founder and the CEO of the Sustainable Business Network. It is the wonderful, I'll just keep saying superlatives until you get to the stage. It is the wonderful, the effervescent, the irrepressible Rachel Brown.
I should have put my cell phone up here. I ngā iwi, I ngā mana, I ngā kā rangaranga maha, nau mai haere mai ki tēnei rā whakahere hera, he kaupapa tēnā nui. Wow, what a start, what a powerful start. That was mind-blowingly beautiful, Billy. I loved that. And Kingy, the power on the stage was amazing. And Terada, we love you. What a great start. Thank you so much. Welcome here. As Terada said, these are our 21st awards, and I can't believe I'm the only one who's been to all of them. So can you tell me, please, a show of hands, was anyone else here for every set of awards? Chris Morrison, you were here for every set of awards. Where are you? Yes. There's only 2 of us in the room. 3, 4. Thank you. Phew. 5. Good. Tonight we do honour the champions of change. We celebrate those working really hard to progress this collective mahi, and we know how damn important this is. Look at us though. I've noticed everyone coming in, we're looking super classy. We're in our recycled, reused, recovered, repaired, beautiful gowns and super sexy suits, guys. Thank you for making the effort. You are all looking gorgeous. I really, really warmly welcome everyone. I really do need to acknowledge Rachel Brooking, who's an outgoing Minister of Oceans, Fisheries, Food Safety, and Associate Minister for the Environment. And I just want to acknowledge her for the role that she's played over these last years. I also really want to warmly welcome Auckland City political leaders, and that's the Deputy Mayor, Desi Simpson, and Councillor Richard Hills, who is such a great guy, and he's been a few times. Now, we were due to have a large number of politicians here. Don't know why, but a few of them have had to send their apologies. So that includes the new or incoming Prime Minister, Chris Luxon. He couldn't make it. Weird thing going on right now with some negotiations with some people. And apparently this is all going to come to some kind of big display tomorrow morning, or maybe even later tonight. That affected the beautiful James Shaw, who was also meant to be coming, who has to stay in Wellington to respond to whatever the announcement is going to be. So they've all sent their apologies, and one of them's gone further and sent us some words. So we're going to hear from Chris Luxon sometime during this evening, which is going to be fascinating. I'm looking forward to hearing that. That sounded worse than it was meant to, okay? But as a result, we don't actually know the full shape or the focus of this new government, but we do know that it's going to be different. Regardless of all of that, this momentum won't stop. The market signals are very clear. Expectations here have lifted, and we know how important this stuff. The good news is the work that we have been doing is bending that climate curve, and that's good, but the urgency remains. So recognition and celebration is extremely important. And I'd really like to acknowledge all the sponsors who come together to make nights like this happen. It is so important that we acknowledge leadership in this space. Your partnership meant that 255 organisations got their shit together to apply for these awards. And then 74 of you have made it to this moment. Congratulations to all of those guys who are here as finalists. But I just want to add, there's been a lot going on over these past few years, and a lot of that's done in partnership. Our program partnerships, who are a really wonderful expertise of business and government, have come together to make some cool things happen. I've actually got a really long list, but I'm only going to say 3 things. The Climate Action Toolbox, 51,000 people now support that. They get really good information on how to measure and mitigate, really importantly, mitigate their emissions. The Circular Economy Directory, 30,000 people are using that to find their suppliers. And 7,000 people are trying to understand how to use procurement as a lever for change. That's kick-ass. The other thing is, and I love this figure, $12.3 million is what we've managed to pull together to invest in nature. That money is redistributed out from SBN to organisations, community organisations, iwi and hapu across the nation. And since 2020, we have employed 200 people. I'm really proud of that stuff. And these are just a few achievements that we've made. So thank you, the many thousands now of you who've been part of this network, because this stuff is really, really important. And yes, the numbers have grown in this 20 plus years that I've been in this space, but honestly, they're still not big enough. We are still experiencing the impacts of our non-sustainability. We've had intense storms, we've had droughts, growing inequality, people can't afford to buy themselves food and shelter, failing ecosystems, sewage on our beaches, guys. This is not okay. These are issues that we can deal with, that they are systemic. We all know each other. This is the one nation that should not let this happen. And I know you get that. So to the rest of you, where the bloody hell have you been? You need to be part of this. And we really, really need our numbers to grow significantly. So if you're not already, please join us. Please learn with us, because we know our skills aren't there to address these properly. And please contribute to this collective mahi. We need you actively engaged. Okay, I'll stop swearing. To the 400 people in the room, we've got a lot of really cool treats for you tonight. And it's all done in the most sustainable way. From the prizes we've got, from the awards that we've got, to the plant-based catering that you're eating. Thanks Garage Project, Karma and Yealands for the fabulous alcohol and non-alcoholic drinks that we've got. We've slashed waste, particularly food waste, because we know that's really important. We've encouraged active modes of transport. Rod Oram even rode here, and I know a few others did. And we're being online, which means that we've really radically reduced people's need to fly. And it's also made these awards open to thousands of people. So when you're up here, just remember that thousands of people are watching. But now I do ask for your help, because we want to massively avoid food waste. You've all been given some food. Your mission is do not leave any food waste. That's your mission. That is the one thing I want you to do. Please eat everything on your plate. Now, next, I just want to thank our independent judging panel. They are here. That's them. Hands up, guys. If you're not happy with the outcomes, these are the people you need to talk to. I was not a judge. But the very best of luck to all the people who have entered tonight. I know this is a scary moment. It will be over, but best of luck. Now, when they win, we want to take over social media. So get your phones out, take photos and share as much as you can, because that just keeps us taking up over the media. Stuff are performing a live exercise, aren't you? People are watching from outside of our network, which is fabulous. Now, I need to say special thanks to my team, because I'm sure you know this is a massive job pulling these things together, and I really want to acknowledge them. But I really want to acknowledge one person. This is her first awards, Holly Gribich. Thank you so much for the amazing work that you've done. It really is a full team effort, and I'm going to make them all come up. Because those of you who know us know that we love to sing. So in a minute, we're going to sing our waiata. And again, best of luck to all the finalists. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa.
So beautiful. You know, there's been a lot of crap said about the kind of people we are over the last few months, but I'm at function after function and event after event where I see a kind of Aotearoa New Zealand that I think is really awesome, and I think you're seeing the best of it tonight. What about a round of applause for Rachel and the team? All right. You know, when I come to these events, I look out, and what I love about it is I see so many people I think of as friends that I have met over many, many, many years. And one of them is going to come up to the stage now. I'd like to welcome a business journalist and this year's head judge. It's Rod Oram. Oh, hello, Rod. Oh, he's so nimble.
Well, I'm nimble because, as Rachel said, I rode here, but she said it in such a way as to suggest I gave the chauffeur the night off. But those of you who know me know that I'm fairly inseparable from my bike. Kia ora tātou and kia ora te whānau. It's a huge pleasure to be with you this evening. Last Saturday, the average temperature of the atmosphere around the world was 2 degrees above normal times. That's the first time the average temperature of the planet has been 2 degrees above normal. So we know that nature and thus climate are moving far, far faster than we mere mortals are, and yet we caused the problem. We've kicked a stone and started a landslide. We also know that we have to achieve this utterly unprecedented speed of change, scale of change, and complexity of change that humanity has never come within cooey of before. And yet we know that we're not doing nearly enough fast enough, even the great leaders amongst us. So that's why it's so important that you're all here tonight, because you are at the forefront of all this. You are giving yourselves heart and mind and soul and body to this work. And it's wonderful to be here tonight to celebrate. So thank you all for being here and all your efforts. But thank you also for all those some 255 organizations that entered our awards, because that's where you're really putting yourself to a very different kind of test than you do to meet your sustainability goals. You are seeking that confirmation, that affirmation of what you're doing is making a difference and is worthwhile. So thank you hugely for all of those of you who have entered the awards this year. And of course, thank you all to Rachel and all of the SBN team for not only supporting you in your work, but many more people, hundreds more people, thousands more people who aren't in the room tonight, but of course have continually empower and enable us to do the work we do. But I reserve my last thank you, especially for the judges, and you saw the list of them just up on the screen now. Thank you to all of you, because you bring such knowledge, such discernment, such good judgment to this process, which is so invaluable. And it makes the whole judging process such a richly rewarding thing for us to do. We always learn so much from each other and from all of those of you who have entered. So it is so a big hand for the judges, and could I please ask you to give your applause. Thank you. Now, every person, every country has a distinctive role to play in all this. And ours in Aotearoa is particularly distinctive because we were the last large landmass in the world to be settled by humans only about 30 to 35 generations ago. Very importantly, thanks to the people who came first, to our indigenous people, we have this extraordinary knowledge and record of what this place was like and what's been going on as we have pulled off in Aotearoa one of the fastest changes from pristine to severely compromised environment and nature. So that's our great responsibility here in Aotearoa, to bring our distinctive ways and our distinctive knowledge to bear to this, so that we can give a bit of hope, a glimpse of how it's possible to bring about one of that fastest restorations of nature, and giving nature a real chance to recover, so that we too have a future on this planet. So in all this, though, each of us can only do this infinitesimally small thing. And yet together we can achieve essentially an infinite amount. We too can really significantly change the course of humanity here, and thus make our contribution globally to being able to bring about that utter transformation that we all need. So those are earnest words on what's a joyful night. But to me, being able to talk about such things is one of the things that is a privilege about what I do in my work, but it's one of the things that keeps me going. So I just want to leave that sense of hope and responsibility with you as we celebrate mightily the work and all the achievements of the winners tonight, or the people who entered, but for all of you and your colleagues that are creating this incredibly rich ecosystem for a very different, of humanity, for a very different future. Thank you.
Thank you, Rog. All right, according to my script, it is now 8:16. 6:16. It's not. I want to rock through things swiftly. A little bit of manakitanga. You have found your way to this beautiful room. If you are a smoker or a vapor, now is a very good time to reconsider your lifestyle options. If you do have to go out, you pop down. Vapors, I don't want to have to say this, but I'm going to. Don't vape in the lift. Take the lift, go all the way downstairs. It's a beautiful stroll to what we in Auckland like to call the poo hole. You might call it failing infrastructure. Pop down to Parnell and look at that. Reconsider who you voted for. I know many of us weren't at the first of these awards, but we can all say we were at the last. I'm joking. I finish work for the year tomorrow. I'm off, but I'm all right. Hey, look, in the unlikely event of the emergency, let us follow the instructions of our hosts. We'll make our way outside. Do not attempt to secure the safety of any of the beautiful tawanga in the museum. There is a fine line between preserving history and looting. We'll go and stand around on the grass until such time as we come in. We have some fantastic spot prizes to give away, both not only to you here in the room, but to our wonderful guests at home as well. They've been donated by our sponsors, finalists and sustainability community tonight. So whether you post about the awards on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever it may be, some of you are still watching the world burn on the platform formerly known as Twitter. It's awesome. Join us. Almost every time you log on, it's like that last scene from Fight Club. Crumbling civilization. So wherever you are, if you want to boost the profile of these tonight, please do. We want to see you celebrating wherever you are in the country. So put your snaps up on the socials, search for the Sustainable Business Network, tag us on the social media. And we've also got a really great little game that we're going to play halfway through tonight so that you who aren't winning things can possibly win a thing. That was the awkward laugh from people who are about to have their dreams crushed. Don't shoot the messenger. The best post uploaded tonight by the end of the night, tagging Sustainable Business Network, is going to receive a $200 New World voucher and a blunt umbrella, branded and courtesy of Tax Management New Zealand. You can use it as an umbrella or a parasol. Either way, don't make any difference. The 21st post uploaded in honour of the 21st year of the awards, tagging Sustainable Business Network, will receive a $100 New World voucher and a We Are Travel yoga mat. There are some amazing finalists we're celebrating tonight. You can find out more about them and their initiatives on the Sustainable Business Network's website. If you aren't up for an award tonight, even if you are and you don't win, you have a responsibility coming to this beautiful event, and that is to tell the stories of the people you see not only on the stage, but in all of those as well. If you haven't gone through and read about the initiatives, please do. And then for the next few months over the Christmas period, bore people senseless at every party and function and barbecue you go to with the incredible mahi that's being done by so many people around the country. Tonight, 9 awards, as well as the coveted Supreme Award for the business that is transforming New Zealand. Any of our category winners tonight may have been made a finalist in the Grand Supreme Award. So if you get to your category and you win, you think, whoa, I'm out of here, stay. You might pick up another one. Each award has got one winner and at least one commendation. So if you are a winner or commended, here is what you do. When your name is read out by our wonderful sponsor, immediately look surprised. Look humble, pop up from where you are, come up to the stage, you'll receive your certificate or your trophy, we'll grab a photograph. If you are highly commended or commended, great news, no need to speak. If you are a winner, congratulations. You have a very brief opportunity, like super brief, to just thank people. I'll judge the length of that. Let us just say I've been hosting awards for nearly 30 years, never once in the hundreds of awards has anyone said to me, hey, Radar, the night was great. I wish it had been longer. If it looks like you are going to thank everybody who ever did anything for you, I will move slowly towards you until eventually I'll be uncomfortably close. For some of you, that's now. He's too close. All right, tonight our incredible finalists are in for a treat thanks to the generosity of With Impact. Established to make gift giving more meaningful, With Impact provides an incredible online experience that offers recipients the gift of choice. Featuring gifts from 450 plus sustainable and socially responsible brands, plus 65 New Zealand charities. There is something for everyone. If you are a finalist tonight, come and see one of the SBN team, Wave Out team. There they are. You can recognise them. To collect your choose a gift card. Otherwise, they will get posted to you. If you're Zooming in, we'll send them. Or also, if you are a winner or a Zoom person, we're going to have you on Zoom. We're not going to wait for you to turn up. We'll just hear for you online. All right. Who's ready to start handing out gongs? I'm from West Auckland, and I'm really glad I had a G. Gongs. Gongs. All right. You do not get to be here in this illustrious lineup of finalists after 21 years of awards, and the competition is very high without already being a winner. Soon some of you will be slightly more winny than the others, but at this point in the evening, a round of applause for all of our finalists. So good. Individuals can make a big difference to sustainability within organisations, whether they are at the highest level or simply on the metaphorical shop floor. They inspire buy-ins. I've got one job, read aloud. They inspire buy-in at all levels of business and community with creative engagement. They walk the sustainability talk. The first of our awards, the Sustainability Superstar, is sponsored by our very good friends at NZI. I'm going to say, let us welcome now Oliver Jepson, National Motor Manager, to say a few words and present the awards. Hello, Oliver.
Kia ora, everyone. Look, it's a real honour to be here tonight on behalf of NZI. Gary Taylor, unfortunately, couldn't be here, but he sends his best regards. We're absolutely stoked to sponsor the Sustainability Superstar Award again. This award will shortly be presented to a person who has gone above and beyond to bring about sustainable change in Aotearoa and inspire the people around them. NZI is proud to sponsor this award because, as an insurer, we see firsthand how climate change is affecting New Zealand communities we're here to protect. We know that individual leadership will be vital to reduce these impacts, and all of our 2023 finalists should be proud of the contribution that they're making to put Aotearoa on a path towards a sustainable future. Congratulations to our finalists for 2023.
Sustainability Superstar Award, sponsored by NZI. Our finalists are Gary and Adrian Dalton, Te Whāngai Trust. Jacinta Fitzgerald, Mindful Fashion, New Zealand. Jasmine Faulkner, Phoenix Metalman Recycling. John Berry, Pathfinder Asset Management. Kath Dewar, Good Sense. Kirsten Patterson, Institute of Directors. Lizzie Whaley, Spaceworks Interior Architecture. Louise Nash, Circularity. Dr. Robert Burrell, Te Whatu Order, Counties Manukau.
We have got in the sustainability superstar category so many superstars. The judges found it hard to narrow down just one winner and just one commendation. There are two commendations. Let's find out who they are.
Thanks, Rhoda. The commendations are, firstly, Kirsten Patterson from Institute of Directors.
Kirsten Patterson is the Chief Executive of the Institute of Directors. You'll recognise her by the fact that that is her right there. Since joining this organisation, hello Kirsten, always a pleasure. In 2017, she's championed climate action as a core component of good governance, and under her watch, climate has gone from being a non-issue to one of the top concerns for Kiwi directors. I forgot to say, go to the photo wall. Go to the photo wall. Second commendation
Is Jacinta Fitzgerald from Mindful Fashion, New Zealand.
Jacinta Fitzgerald is the inaugural Chief Executive of Mindful Fashion New Zealand, a not-for-profit organisation founded in 2019 to strengthen the fashion and textile industry. Jacinta has had a 20-year career in the clothing and textile industry, first as a designer, then as a sustainability consultant. She is clear on her path to drive change in the industry. That was said. There we go. The winner, Oliver.
The winner of the 2023 Sustainability Superstar is John Berry from Pathfinder Asset Management.
All right. Why did John win? The judges say John's determination and appetite for risk is founded on a belief that the market would eventually reward his core commitment, that money can be used as a weapon for punishing bad actors and rewarding the good. It's that commitment and pure grit that has led to his outsized impact and makes him a sustainability superstar. John has been a leader in growing the ethical investing movement through Pathfinder and more broadly. He is also generous with his time and advice, building public awareness, contributing to the wider industry. He is our Pathfinder champion. Hello, John.
Kia ora, everyone, and thank you to you, Rhoda. Thank you, Rachel, for your wonderful mahi with SBN and your team. Thank you, NZI. Thank you, Oliver, for sponsoring this category and the judges. Thank you for your volunteering, your time and your hard work. This award is not just for one person. This award is for a very, very large team. Firstly, for Pathfinder's KiwiSaver members, 8,000 KiwiSaver members, 1,000 people outside of KiwiSaver that entrust us with their savings. Thank you for trusting us. Thank you for believing us. Thank you for encouraging us to carry on with our work. We take that responsibility of managing people's money really seriously. Secondly, I'd like to thank my family. Some of my family are watching online. Ange, Matt, Josh and Mum, for the last 10 years, they've listened to my good ideas, they've listened to my bad ideas, they've listened to me while I'm stressed, and they've always encouraged and supported me, so thank you. And finally, I'd like to thank the wonderful Pathfinder team, my co-founder, Paul Brownsey, and the team that are here tonight, Zena, Jeanette, Simon, Bryony, Lily and Anna. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your passion. Thank you for believing in our mission. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Oliver. Thank you, NZI. John's wearing great shoes. All right. Let me have a little look here. All right. So, the Changemaker Award celebrates a young person who is driving sustainability change within their organisation or the wider community. Young people, what are they good for? So many things. I love them. They're the future. Young people will be critical for ensuring New Zealand is a hub full of businesses that do well and do good for the benefit of the environment, business and people. It is sponsored, this award, by Tax Management New Zealand. Going to welcome Amanda Thorpe, Head of People and Culture, to say a few words. Hello, Amanda. Round of applause. Here's Amanda.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here representing Team NZ this evening, and we're very proud to partner with the Sustainable Business Network. As a purpose-led business, 100% of our profits are reinvested in the Whakatupu Aotearoa Foundation for a restored and thriving Aotearoa. To be the change we want to see in the world is one of our values at TMNZ, and we're really excited to sponsor the 2023 Changemaker Award, which recognises incredible young people who have gone above and beyond to be the change that they want to see in the world. Congratulations to all the finalists, and here they are for 2023.
Changemaker Award, sponsored by Tax Management New Zealand. Our finalists are Aidan Smith, Shuttle. Frankie McKeithree, Pre-Strategy. Haiti Glasgow Palmer, Action Manufacturing. Nelson Harper, Recycle NZ. Scott Waddell, Mataura Valley Milk.
Brilliant. And we have a commendation.
And the commendation goes to Frankie McKeithree.
Frankie has been quietly working in the background of the sustainability movement among businesses in Aotearoa, New Zealand for many years, but has never sought the spotlight. Now here he is in it. He started his own business, Pre-Strategy, with an ambitious vision to help businesses transition to an inclusive, zero carbon, circular, regenerative future. Congratulations to Frankie. The winner.
And the winner is of the Changemaker Award for 2023, Scott Waddell, Mataura Valley Milk.
The judges say Scott Waddell has shown his heart and soul in reshaping New Zealand's dairy industry. He's set to create New Zealand's first 100% electric dairy factory powered by renewable energy, challenging the slow-moving and risk-averse dairy sector. His mission is to reduce carbon emissions, champion sustainability, and decarbonise the industry. His innovative approach has not only transformed his workplace, but has influenced competitors to follow suit, making a significant impact on the industry. Scott's pioneering work and unwavering commitment to sustainability set him apart from others in the field, leaving a lasting legacy for future generations. Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Firstly, I just really want to thank Tax Management New Zealand. Amanda, thank you very much. And also the Sustainable Business Network. It's honestly a real honour to be part of something like this. And I wasn't expecting to be up here today, so it's really exciting. My employers, Mataura Valley Milk and the A2 Milk Company. It was really nice to run into Julia tonight as well, former director. I think it's also really important for me to take this opportunity to recognise everyone else that was nominated. This shows that you're all making really significant change. The other 4 finalists, obviously Frankie doing your work with consulting on climate governance at Pre-Strategy, Aidan with your work at Ride Sharing, and Katie did the work that you're doing with Action Manufacturing, and Nelson at Precycle. Individually, we're all making significant contributions towards a sustainable future. So let's continue working tirelessly, innovating fearlessly, and collaborating passionately. Let's keep pushing the boundaries, changing the norms, and embracing sustainable solutions. Just being nominated for this award should fuel our determination to do even more. Thank you.
Nice one, Scott. Great to hear that Southland accent. It's one of my favourite parts of the country. People want to know about the good business the good that businesses are doing. They want easily accessible information to help them make purchasing choices that will have a positive impact on people and nature. Sustainability is more than making sure that you have your house in order. It's also about effectively communicating what it is that you do to the right people through the right channels to inspire others to make a difference. The Communicating for Impact Award is sponsored by our wonderful friends at Stuff. We're going to welcome Carmen Parahi, Pōteaki Mātua Executive, to the stage. Kia ora, Carmen.
Ke aku nui, ke aku rahi, e te ti, e te tā, tēnā koutou katoa. Ka nui aku mihi ki te mana whenua o te rohe nei, Ngāti Whātua o Rākei. Tino pai rawa atu, te Sustainable Business Network. Rawe koutou, tauke koutou. He mihi mai oha ki ngā toa, toi tū o te ao, o te pō, ka nui taku mihi ki a koe e ko mō tō kupu aroha, mō ngā kupu e whai ana o te kōrero i ngā tipuna. He uri ahau o Ngāti Kahungunu, Ngāti Hine, me Rongotu Kāta, ko te Pōtiaki Matua o te puna. On behalf of Te Puna Stuff Group, we're really pleased to sponsor the Communication for Impact Award. And no, it's not the award for the people with the biggest mouths in the room. And it's not the people who have the biggest and best advertising budgets. No, far from it. This award is for the people who can weave together great intentions, great actions to inspire and make a positive impact through communication. At Te Puna Stuff Group, by the way, everything here is live on Stuff. So get your whānau to get on Stuff tonight and watch everything that goes on here. So be careful what you say around the cameras. You will be caught. So it's at Te Puna Stuff Group, we believe in the power of a great story and making a difference in the world. It's the type of mahi we try to do every day as a business through our news reporting. Being our number one audience reach, commercial products and sponsors and relationships. We're proudly B Corp, which aligns with our Pōtiaki strategy to better represent marginalised communities, and B Corp helps us to focus our climate response. We heard our beautiful kōrero tonight telling us about the impacts for her people in the Pacific Islands. And I didn't want to get serious here, but we need to listen to our rangatahi because the impacts of our work today are the impacts for them and their mokopuna in the future. Everybody, be a good ancestor, be a good tipuna. Te puia hirangi said, mahia te mahi, hei painga mō te iwi. We do the work for the betterment of everyone. Nei ngā toa. Here are the finalists for 2023.
Communicating for Impact Award, sponsored by Stuff. Our finalists are Better Packaging Co., Pathfinder Asset Management, Predator Free New Zealand Trust, University of Waikato, With Wild, Citizen, Burger Fuel and Fiordland Wapiti Foundation.
There's a judge's commendation, Carmen.
Aye, there is a judge's commendation. Can I say, as a journalist, it was my pleasure to go and research all of these companies. They are amazing. And please go and find out more after the awards as well. Our commendation tonight, haere mai ki konei, Better Packaging Company.
Better Packaging Co., the provocative sculpture. You saw a photograph of it highlighting plastic pollution made global headlines for Better Packaging Co. And I've always wanted to say this on stage. The giant recycled plastic poo sculpture was installed on Bondi Beach in Australia to help mark World Environment Day on June the 5th. It was a visual reminder of the staggering volume of plastic waste. It was brilliant and it has won them the commendation in the category. Congratulations, Better Packaging Co.
Rawe. Ko wai te toa I waka o tēnei po. The winner is, oh, I gotta say that.
Yeah.
The winner is Pathfinder Asset Management.
The judges say that Pathfinder's campaign continues its determined and deliberate effort to make an impact on investing in the footprint of global business. Thoughtful, clever, and authentic. It used the right messages to the right audiences and the right channels to create a coherent and compelling campaign. Congratulations, Pathfinder Asset Management.
Thank you. Thank you to Staff for sponsoring this award and love the fact that Staff is a B Corp. It's really meaningful for businesses to take that certification. Thank you to the judges as well. At Pathfinder, our mission is to generate individual wealth and collective well-being through ethical investing. And our team do a wonderful job of communicating this message to different audiences. The first audience is the business community, where our message is we need to do capitalism better. We need to be more conscious and we need to think longer term about our decision making. Our second audience is the finance and investment industry, where we say invest in better, invest with values. And our third audience is to Kiwis and New Zealanders who are investors. And what we want is for New Zealanders to understand everyone gets that how they spend their time and how they spend their money has an impact on their communities. We want people to understand how you invest your money has the same real world impacts on our communities. It's really important work. It's really important messaging. I love the fact that the Pathfinder team feel like it's something we need to share with everyone. And thank you for the recognition tonight.
Congratulations, Pathfinder. Next, Carmen. Next up. Good businesses operate with a conscience. They bring about positive outcomes for the environment and economy. They create change for good and for the people and the planet around them. This evening, the Social Impactor Award will be presented to an organisation that is deliberately and consistently improving people's lives through its day-to-day business practice. It is wonderful to invite the sponsors of the awards, the good folks from MASS, in the form of Helen McDowell, Chief Investment Products Officer, to the stage to say a few words. Round of applause for MASS. Hello, Helen.
Kia ora koutou katoa. Thanks so much for having me here again. It's a pleasure to be year 2 at the SBN Business Awards. It is a beautiful, beautiful venue. So to tell you a little bit about us at MAS, we're a very different kind of insurance and investment provider. We were founded by doctors for doctors 100 years ago, but today we're much broader. We support a range of professionals who expect their insurance and investment company to be committed to a healthier and more sustainable Aotearoa New Zealand. We're a mutual, which means that we're owned by our members. So looking after their best interests is at the heart of everything that we do. Exceeding their expectations is one of the reasons that we've been awarded Consumer New Zealand's People's Choice Award for house, car and contents insurance for 7 years in a row. We care about the impact that the money that we have to invest has on the planet and on communities here in Aotearoa, New Zealand and around the world. We're proud to have a responsible investment approach. We do this by considering environmental, social, governance and climate factors of the companies that we invest in. We also restrict exposure to harmful sectors and we engage with the companies that we invest in to advocate for positive change. Being a member of the Sustainable Business Network is so important to MAS. It provides us with an opportunity to share ideas with like-minded companies about how to operate in a more sustainable way. In addition, we're a Toitua Net Carbon Zero certified organisation as we've fully offset our measured emissions with carbon credits purchased from native forests in Aotearoa, New Zealand. We're a registered charity, so profits help support the MAS Foundation, which is a philanthropic organisation that invests in projects that improves the health and well-being equity of communities throughout the motu. We're delighted to be supporting this category, recognising other businesses that are also dedicated to improving people's lives. Congratulations to all the finalists tonight. I really hope you're all enjoying the awards, but in the meantime, here are our finalists for this award.
Social Impact Award, sponsored by Mass Medical Assurance Society. Our finalists are Awa Period Care, Boma New Zealand, Debt Managers, Digital Wings, Payanga Order, Money Sweet Spot, Rangiruru Girls School, the Whāngai Trust, the Good Registry, Trade Aid,
Right, there is accommodation.
There absolutely is, and that goes to Te Whāngai Trust.
Many of you familiar with them. Te Whāngai Trust, the ecological social enterprise that supports and advocates for New Zealanders who find it challenging to enter the workforce. People can earn while they learn. They have a wonderful bespoke program that creates community connections. They have employed more than 70 people, and they've got lots and lots of plants at their very beautiful nursery. If you want to check them out, a round of applause for Te Whāngai Trust. The wonderful Adrian and Gary Dalton. All right.
And the winner?
The winner.
The winner is Money Sweet Spot.
Judges say Money Sweet Spot is the first social lender of its type with a better way for the underserved to refinance their debt. At the core of the organisation is a tech platform that resets lives by re-empowering clients. Money Sweet Spot gives back to the community and other social causes. Congratulations, Money Sweet Spot.
Wow. So for those that don't really know about Money Sweet Spot, we are 11 months old. So winning this award is unbelievable. And it gave me great honor to accept it for the team. It was an interesting last 12 months. And it was a hugely rewarding opportunity for us to actually pay back into community and provide financial services to people to get themselves out of debt and get on with their lives. In a world that is consumed with profit and margins, Money Sweet Spot embarked on a journey of guiding a deep purpose to demonstrate that financial success and social responsibility can coexist. A new business model for financial services within New Zealand. This award is tribute to a fantastic team. Their passion and motivation, the vision of what Money Sweet Spot's vision and mission is hugely rewarding as a co-founder. They drive the team. They drive the integration with our social responsibility and the community engagement that we have. And that will drive Money Sweet Spot into the future. We extend our deepest appreciation to our shareholders, as always, our partners, and most importantly, our customers. The customer journey that we've seen over the last 12 months has been unbelievable. The amount of challenge that our customers have gone through, certainly through the last 2 or 3 years after COVID, has been heartwarming that we can support them through that period and hopefully get them through a troubled environment into past the debt situation onto the future and the success that they have in the country. Thank you for the sustainable business and sponsors. and have a fantastic evening.
Congratulations, Money Sweet Spot. How much impact can you make in 11 months? An enormous amount. So again, a round of applause for social impact winner. So we gave it to the work experience kid. Turned up, did some amazing stuff. All right. It's phenomenal. Like I say, if you don't know much about some of these businesses, pop online because the work that they do is sensational. All right. Traditional businesses are predominantly based on a linear take, make, waste model. As pressure goes on resources, we need to shift to a more circular economy. And this is where the life cycle of materials is maximized, use is optimized, and the end-of-life materials all reused. Going to welcome Pablo Kraus, Group CEO of EcoStore, to present the Going Circular Awards. Hello, Pablo. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Look, EcoStore was born out of a deep-rooted respect for nature. And back when it all began, we were just a small company trying to do a little bit of good, making hard-working products that were safer for people and the planet. So it was all about helping people to live cleaner, giving them power to care for their home while also protecting their family's health and the environment. Since then, we've continued to innovate with the same virtues and values in mind, putting a huge amount of investment behind doing more with less, and taking responsibility for what we put into the world. We became Toitū Net carbon certified over 10 years ago, the first manufacturing facility to do that in Australasia. We promote and facilitate reusing and refilling. We take back our plastic and recycle it into new bottles. We stick to ingredients that are kind to our precious waterways. It's a circular way of thinking that's always been in our DNA. That's why tonight it's an absolute honor to be in the company of so many other like-minded organizations, and a genuine privilege to sponsor the Going Circular Award that celebrates the kind of effort we value so highly at EcoStore.
Let's have a look at the finalists.
Going Circular Award, sponsored by EcoStore. Our finalists are Becca, Blunt, Pathology, Circularity, Emerge Fertilizer by Watercare, Havana Coffee Works, and again, Mutu, Solid, The Recreators, the Sustainable Care Company, Cleanery, Wilson and Ross, and Scion.
Brilliant. All right, Pablo, what have we got? 2 commendations in this category.
Yes, we do. And the first one is Solid.
Congratulations, Solid. Are they here or online? Are they online? Can we? Oh, there they are. Hello. You can wave. Very quickly tell people what you do because you're not here. You're not getting any food, so you can say something. Can you? I love my job. I'm just going to. They're an oral care business to produce plastic-free products. Goals to set to change behaviour, reduce waste. And what do? They're toothpaste in a jar. I know it's mind-blowing. It is brilliant. It has saved more than 50,000 toothpaste tubes being used and dumped into landfill. Pablo, who's the second?
The second one is Circularity.
Those of you who don't know, Circularity designed X-Labs Aotearoa, New Zealand's first circular economy learning program. The aim to accelerate the design of solutions to reduce waste, keep materials in flow, and regenerate the natural environment. So congratulations to you, Circularity. Round of applause. the winner.
The winner is Emerge Fertilizer by Watercare.
Judges say Emerge fertilizer is a phosphorus-rich fertilizer that also includes nitrogen. It demonstrates innovative biocircular thinking from Watercare, a large-scale organisation that is turning organic waste that would have gone to landfill into a high-value renewable product. Emerge fertilizer is locally sourced from renewable sources. It avoids carbon from importing phosphorus and waste to landfill. They are delighted to celebrate transformative, circular and strategic thinking by an organisation acting as kaitiaki of valuable resource. Congratulations, Watercare.
In case anyone was wondering, these are surprise awards and we're so blown away. First, I'd like to thank John Pickett at the back. He said 3 or 4 years ago, I've developed this pile of fertilizer. I'm sure it can be marketed. I'm sure it can be distributed and be powerful in the agriculture residential markets. And here we are. In 2 weeks' time, 3 weeks' time, we'll be out in Mitre 10 stores nationwide, 84 stores. The whole team has been awesome. Will Bowden, PGG Wrightson, and there's so many there to mention, and Watercare for taking up the kaupapa. We are kaitiaki of the water resources we put in our pipes and eventually discharge. And this is a change of thinking about what it is we do. We can extract real goodness in a pure way that's absolutely brilliant for our agriculture and farming practice as well as turf systems. Thank you very much. Absolutely blown away.
Thank you. Can't wait to see a post on the Watercare Facebook page about that. If you don't follow Watercare, whoever is doing their socials is a genius. It is so good. All right. Now, many of you are sitting out there thinking, oh, I'm just here because I want to go and see the awards. I'm not going to win anything. Now's your chance. We've got some spot prizes. It is a little game and it's really simple. It's going to give us a chance to have a little bit of a stretch. Here's how it's going to work. It'll all be winners. I'm going to do a quick couple of rounds of heads or tails that will narrow us down to a few people. Then I'm going to select some people. They're going to answer some questions and they're going to win a great prize. So, heads or tails, we're going to base it. You know how it works. I'm going to get you to stand up. Hands on your heads if you think it's heads. On tails, I've downloaded an app because who wants to carry cash? It's too heavy. So, let me find. So, if you want to participate, stand up. If you don't want it, and same at the back. I've got my coin flipper app. Make your decision. Heads or tails, heads or tails. Here we go. It's heads. So sit down if you didn't have your hands on your heads. Choose again, choose again. Heads or tails? 3, 2, 1. Tails. Oh, we really narrowed down a lot of people who didn't want to stand in their room with their hands on their hips. Shh. Heads or tails, heads or tails? Heads. Oh, we've really narrowed this down quite quickly. How many have we got left? All right, shh. Heads or tails, final one. Heads. If it's heads, you win. All right, come up to the front. Heads winners. I got some questions. Come on, come on. Hurry up. If you don't get here quickly, now, shh, shh, shh. If you are at home and haven't popped out for, shh, I'm communicating to the wider world, shh. If you are at home, shh, on the broadcast, you can also enter this part of the competition. So, listen carefully. The first, is it all of the questions? What are we doing? Yes. So, the first person online to send the correct answer through to the chat function is also going to win a prize, okay? So, I've got the questions. So, here we go. come together. Because I need to better see you. Oh, Joe, have you not done enough winning? Are you from Pathfinder as well? Oh, good. Are you? Are they? All right. Here are the questions. And what I want, throw your hand up straight away if you know the answer, and you can answer at any stage during the thing. Shh, shh. Easy ones. A or B? Which country was the first to introduce a carbon tax? A, Sweden. B, Denmark. You just yelled it out. You just yelled out Denmark. No? Yes! You get a... What does that mean? What do I do now? Do I keep you? I don't know. I forgot to read the instructions. All right, so you've got a point. Shh. New Zealand's... This is a true or false? I mean, your options are 50-50. New Zealand's greenhouse gas emissions per capita are among the lowest in the developed world. True or false? I really love just the sadness in our voices when we said false. All right. Which country is responsible for more e-waste? China or the USA? You got it. I'm going to give it to you. I've narrowed it down to you. Yeah, I'm just going to give it to you. I don't care. This is like the election where you just go, oh, you'll do. A round of applause for those people. I'm going to give you a prize. I had so many other questions. Let's see if you get to keep your prize. What was the favourite board game of Green Party leader James Shaw as a child? Shh. Was it chess or Dungeons and Dragons? No. It was Dungeons and Dragons, and he said it's helped him in Parliament with the endless and seemingly pointless challenges surrounded by evil and monsters in a fantasy world designed for juvenile point scoring. I'm still going to give you the prize. Who gives him the prize? Oh, you do. There's the prize. You have just taken out a $200 New World voucher and lunch. Great. And a lunch where you can find out about... Oh, this is weird. Oh, can you see the prize? You've taken out the prize and you get to go to lunch with John, who very nearly won lunch with himself. All right. Oh, wait a second. Did all of our other 4 finalists, were they getting a prize too? Oh, the other 4 finalists, you get a $100 New World voucher, and you get, if you want, you can take yourself out to lunch and just sit a few tables away and just try to listen. But come and see us afterwards and we'll give you your $100 prize. The winner for the online side of things, online, you've got a $100 New World voucher and a 2.5 bag of Emerge fertilizer. I haven't done, what is it made of? Because if it's made of what I think it is and it's called Emerge, I really love this country so much. So, $100 New World vouchers and a 200.5 kilogram bag of Emerge, I don't know if it can go on a courier, is going to Katie Rivers. So congratulations to Katie Rivers. All right. Shh. Okay. Shh. Shh. Are we good? This mic's a little crackly, eh? Shall I just use the handheld? Yeah. Right. Shh, shh. I know the light's getting on and it's a little bit easy. It's a little bit to have a bit of hubbub, but we're nearly through. I have now got I'm the last time a comedian was in charge of a country, things haven't gone so well for them, but this is the closest I'm ever going to get to being a minister. And that I've got some words from the wonderful, the Honourable James Shaw to read on his behalf because he's stuck with some government business. Shh. Imagine I'm James. There he is. That's his name. All right. Over the last 6 years as climate minister, I've met a lot of young people who have asked me, I really want to help put an end to the climate crisis. Does that mean I should become a climate scientist? And yes, we're going to need more climate scientists, but we're also going to need more engineers and architects, builders and electricians, community leaders, and yes, politicians, storytellers, teachers, doctors, nurses, mathematicians, statisticians, geographers, activists, artists, deep water divers, marine biologists, horse whisperers, AI whisperers, social media influencers, product designers, journalists, transport planners, beauty therapists, parents, grandparents, aunties, and uncles. By which I mean we're going to need all of you. We need everyone, and we need everything you've got. I salute all of you, whether you were nominated for an award or not, whether you've won an award or not, and I salute Rachel and the team at the Sustainable Business Network for bringing you together and for giving you the opportunity to show the world all the ways that we can make it better. Thank you for everything that you have done, that everything you are doing, and everything you will do in the future. Have a wonderful evening. What about a round of applause for James Shaw? I reckon I could get the hang of being a politician. All right. Let us not forget to continue snapping our photographs through the course of the evening for the spot prizes, tagging in the Sustainable Business Network. All right. Are we ready to find out who is the winner of the Climate Action Leader category? Yes, we are. Even if you're not, it's next on the list. Addressing the challenge of climate change must be a priority for businesses. How they respond will determine whether we succeed in meeting our net zero carbon goal for Aotearoa, especially in making significant emissions reduction in the next decade of action, starting now. The Climate Action Leader Award will be presented to an organisation that is actively leading and delivering impact and scale with their climate action. It is sponsored by Waka Kotahi New Zealand Transport Agency. We're welcoming Group General Manager System Leadership, Mr. Chris Bunny, to the stage. A round of applause. Hello, Chris.
Tēnā koutou to everyone gathered under the dome and with us virtually. I'd especially like to acknowledge esteemed judges, elected representatives from central and local government, my colleagues from central and local government agencies. I know that everyone in this room understands the urgency for collective action to respond to the climate emergency. It's important, but it's often not easy. It's difficult to change established systems and ways of doing things, or to change habits that have built up over decades. To achieve impactful change at scale requires bold, courageous people with vision to imagine the opportunities and push through the risks, and to inspire us to take positive transformation action. They are climate action leaders. All of tonight's finalists are climate action leaders. At Waka Kotahi, we share your vision and commitment to more sustainable practices. Te Kapahu, our compass, signals the importance of Te Ana Mata, to leave great legacies. And Toitu Te Taio, our sustainability action plan, sets out our contribution to low carbon, safe and healthy land transport system. We're guided by our values to do the best for our communities, now and into the future, to show manaakitanga for others and leave no one behind. To all the finalists, thank you for your vision, your innovation, your tenacity, and your manaakitanga for communities across Aotearoa, New Zealand. Let's find out the finalists for the Climate Action Leader Award.
Climate Action Leader Award, sponsored by Waka Kotahi. Our finalists are Aroha Wellness Retreat, Dita, E-Coast, Ecotricity, Lawson's Dry Hills, Nature's Flame, Solar Zero, Kamata Hoha, the Institute of Directors, Chapter 0, New Zealand.
So many. Judge's commendation.
What a great bunch, and I'm delighted to give the commendation for the Climate Action Leader to Lawson's Dry Hills.
Wine producer Lawson's Dry Hills has made climate action the focus of its business operations and brand. Initiatives cover every part of the business, from the vineyards, the winery, the office, to the ports of shipping. I've got more. The Marlborough business is a smaller wine producer and sells mainly to overseas markets. It's been careful in managing costs to deliver the best outcomes to counter climate change in ways that are innovative and cost-effective. Congratulations, you, on behalf of Lawson's Dry Hills. Are you Lawson's Dry Hills? Great. Tell you what, I was down in Marlborough on the weekend, and what a beautiful part of the world. All right. Helping to make the world a little bit better, the winner of the category, Chris Bunny, is...
I am absolutely thrilled, being somewhat of an energy nerd, to award the Climate Action Leader Award to Ecotricity.
Get your certificate. Oh, there's always a group. All right. Shh. Here's what the judges said. The judges say a retailer of electricity generated only from renewable energy, low carbon, hydro, wind and solar. Ecotricity is a climate positive certified, having reduced its own operational carbon emissions by around 30% and offset to 125% any residual emissions. Its customer base is growing 75% a year, and around 2/3 of its customers also own solar PV and sell any excess power they generate back to Ecotricity. The business is actively promoting the development of new renewable energies to help Aotearoa New Zealand's 2030 renewables target faster, and is taking action to bring everyone on the journey through collaboration with education and across the sector. Let us not increase your carbon emission with a very long speech.
I've only got a minute. So, look, we couldn't do without this without a lot of people, that's including our staff, a few here. They are amazing people. So amazing that we've got the highest NPS, Net Promoter Score, in the electricity market in New Zealand, a country mile above the others. But the other one is the customers, and in particular, Solar Zero were a finalist, and Lawson, woo, shout out. And Lawson Wines also, I noticed, I think they're a customer of ours. A lot of other people here are customers. But so thank you all customers. You know, we couldn't be here without you. But an interesting observation, if you look at suppliers and you look at customers, in a traditional sense, there's a bit of natural tension that exists between there. But when you throw in sustainability and you've got people like SBN, people involved, that relationship changes to a harmonious relationship, one where you are aiming for the same objective, and that is to get carbon and emissions out of the atmosphere, which is going to better our future generations. So those relationships with sustainability involved are much, much better. So let's go harder on those sustainable relationships. So thank you very much.
Congratulations. And if you are an Ecotricity customer, go home, turn everything on so they can make more money. Oh, no, wait. It's counterproductive, I think. All right. Go out tonight on your little solar and shine a torch on it. I don't know how it works. All right. Shh. The best organisations look far beyond their own walls. They create and foster connections that generate positive impacts on people's lives, on health, nutrition, housing, employment, community, and more. These connections draw on the strengths and unique advantages of those involved to deliver impact which could not have been achieved alone. We have the Outstanding Collaboration Award sponsored by the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment, and we welcome the Deputy Secretary, Te Waka Pūtahitanga, Melanie Porter, to the stage. Kia ora, Melanie. How are you? Shh.
Tēnā koutou katoa, tāla whalawa, e mihi ana ki te mana whenua a Ngāti Whātua o Rake. E mihi ana ki a koe Rachel, e mihi ana ki a koutou SBN, Sustainable Business Network. It's an absolute pleasure to be here today. At the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment, we are so privileged to be a sponsor of this award. We believe in collective impact. that supports intergenerational well-being and prosperity. And what else do we do here other than that? There is a Samoan proverb that I thought was apt for this. E wawetau nu'u malanga pe a tātou alowa a whātasi, which is about we can get there faster if we paddle all together. For New Zealand to voyage to a sustainable future, we need all the innovation and power that comes when we work together. The innovation and power that allowed people of the Pacific and Europe to navigate entire oceans. So it is with pride and gratitude to the navigators and paddlers, past and present, that I'm presenting the Outstanding Collaboration Award 2023. So let's look at the finalists.
Outstanding Collaboration Award, sponsored by Ministry for Business, Innovation and Employment. Our finalists are Again, and Lion. B-Lab Australia, and Aotearoa New Zealand and New Zealand Trade and Enterprise. Beautification Trust, Eco Matters Environment Trust, Paipātiki Project and Waiheke Resources Trust. Eco Action Nursery Trust, Ōtautahi Christchurch and Waitaha Canterbury Community. Fair Food, Farrow Fresh and Food Partners. Hastings District Council, Connect Community Trust and Anglican Care Waiapu. Trade Aid, Hummingbird, Atomic and Lafare. Urban Miners. With Wild, Citizen, Burger Fuel and Fiordland Wapiti Foundation. Zero Food Waste Challenge, Aotearoa. Oh, they're so good. They're so good. All right, judges' commendation, Melanie.
Absolute pleasure to announce the commendation 2023 goes to Fair Food, Farrow Fresh and Food Partners.
High-end Auckland grocery chain Farrow Fresh have been collaborating with food rescue organisation Fair Food for more than a decade, extending the life of healthy food that would have gone to landfill and taking climate action by reducing emissions. Congratulations to Fair Food, Farrow Fresh and Food Partners. The winner.
The winner. And the winner, oh, sorry, I thought I already had. And the winner, drum roll, goes to Eco Action Nursery Trust, Ōtautahi Christchurch and Waitaha Canterbury Communities.
The judges say this is an intergenerational initiative with so much heart. They have collaborated with schools, communities and local authorities to grow native trees, mitigate climate change and provide a vital habitat for our native species. This collaboration is an upstream approach to sustainability, both socially and environmentally. It extends, I got more, it extends beyond schools and includes parents, whānau and the wider community, which fosters a strong sense of place and wellbeing. The collaboration has led to significant process and a transformative impact on the local ecosystem and society. Your winners, congratulations to you, Eco Action Nursery Trust, Ōtautahi Christchurch and the Waitaha Canterbury Community.
Thank you. On behalf of the Trust, I would like to thank MB, the sponsor, and the Sustainable Business Network. And obviously, because it's a collaboration award, there are a few people to recognise. The award celebrates a wonderful partnership and collaboration between Eco Action Nursery Trust, Christchurch City Council, and 28 schools and community partners, Eco Action's major sponsors, Canterbury Landscape Supplies, Department of Corrections, Enviro NZ, Fulton Hogan, Isaacs Construction and the New Brighton Volunteer Fire Brigade, as well as many other dedicated supporters and generous donors. Together with a large team is growing a native forest and asset for Christchurch City, mainly in the red zone. I'd like to acknowledge the many students and lead teachers running satellite nurseries across 25 schools and the people involved at SVA, at Canterbury University, Richmond Community Gardens and Charles Upham Retirement Village. Thanks go out to all involved for volunteering time growing and planting trees. Congratulations to the Eco Action warriors and leaders for their hours of commitment, expertise and leadership. Also, massive thanks to David Newton, the Trust Chair, and the trustees Mike Patchett, David Daish, Chris Egan, Kate Rivers, for their vision and action in driving positive planetary change in our community, or the Christchurch community. Thank you for this collaboration award, which is equally earned by all these players, without whom nothing would have been possible. Thank you.
Congratulations. All right. Now, I know it's been a little bit of a long night for some of you standing back. That noise just from those people at the back is just drifting over here. So if you want to chat, I would go downstairs over there. I'm going to give you a moment because it's annoying me. All right. I know that it's that little bit of hubbub just drifts across, and frankly, it just adds an air of disrespectfulness to the event. Oh, I pulled a knee ligament. Oh, I should never have done that in those pants. All right. Shh. Good food is safe, it is healthy, it is nutritious, it is affordable, it is produced in a sustainable way, contributes to local economies, reduces waste and inefficiencies, it protects the water, the soil, the biodiversity, but it also enhances cultural food practices and ensures that everyone has access to good food. The Good Food Award is presented to an organisation that is transforming the food system to create a positive impact on people and the environment. It is sponsored by New World. We're going to welcome Sandy Botterill, Head of Environmental Social Governance at Foodstuffs, to the stage. A round of applause. Hello, Sandy.
Kia ora. So awesome to be here tonight. Thank you so much. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah, cool. Okay, so I am the head of ESG at Foodstuffs. I lead our program of work called Here for New Zealand, and it is a total pleasure to be here tonight and presenting the Good Food Award on behalf of New World. And a huge shout out. Can I just pause for a moment? Can I just do a huge shout out for everyone that's online? Like, thank you so much for tuning in. It's super awesome to have you with us too. So I love being here tonight at these awards, and I just also want to pause for a moment and just say a humongous thank you to SBN. You're absolute legends. Can I just do a little applause for SBN? So I guess one of the reasons that I love being here so much is that all of the nominees actually represent the best of the immense amount of work that's being done to ensure a more sustainable Aotearoa. And I'm so humbled by the mahi that's going on in our country at the moment. At Foodies, we just really want to do the right thing for our local communities, and we're committed to caring for this whenua. And we're on a mission to zero food waste and ensuring that our food systems are resilient and connected. So that's why New World sponsors this award. Right, let's get on to it. Let's talk about it.
See the finalists.
Let's just see
Let's
it.
see the finalists. Good Food Award sponsored by New World. Our finalists are Fair Food, Meadow Mushrooms, Red Shoots, the Sustainable Food Co, Trade Aid, Yum, all right, and judges' commendation, Sandy.
Yep, so the commendation goes to the Sustainable Food Co.
Oh, there they are there.
They've
Oh,
joined.
wow. Oh, my. Oh. She's on a boat.
Don't ask her to
Sun,
talk.
look at the sun is shining. What? Oh, like, you're awesome, but oh, boy, you're annoying. Yeah, a lot of a round of applause for the Sustainable Food Co. Sustainable catering social enterprise based in Central Auckland, founded by Amy Kitchler in 2020. Small but growing company, clearly based on a boat.
So sad.
So awesome.
So awesome.
All right, Sandy.
Yes.
The winner.
And the winner is Trade Aid.
The judges say that trade aid has been disrupting the food system with significant positive environmental and social impacts for a very long time. They are pioneers in ethical food. They are the winners of this year's Good Food Award. A round of applause for Trade Aid.
Hey, I got It's a really long way to walk in heels when you're not used to heels. So this award really belongs to our visionary trading partners, the amazing people who founded organizations where food is viewed as more than a cash crop, where organics is seen as getting back to basics, just doing what their tupuna has always done. And this award also belongs to the amazing New Zealand businesses who have come on board to fair trade their supply chains. And there's more than 1,300 of you. And so I'm sure some of you here have fair traded your supply chains through Trade Aid. It is our hope at Trade Aid that with the continuing and increasing support of New Zealand businesses that care, businesses like you all, that we can continue to fight against the unhealthy global trade in food and uphold and grow healthy supply chains for healthy food and healthy communities. And a big thank you to New World, where you can find a large range of Trade Aid food products. Thank you. Kia ora koutou.
Brilliant. Congratulations, Trade Aid. One more award and then our Supreme Award. So, our nature is the foundation of New Zealand's economic, cultural and social success. It is under pressure, in many cases degraded or even lost. The Regenerating Nature Award celebrates organisations that put the restoration of nature at the heart of their sustainability journey. It is sponsored by the very good people at the Ministry for the Environment. I'm going to welcome Anne Hyder, Deputy Secretary of Climate Policy and Partnerships and Public Affairs. Kia ora, Anne. Round of applause for Anne. Hello.
Tēnā koutou katoa, and a big kia ora to all of those online. Hi, Dad. The Ministry for the Environment has had a long-standing and close relationship with the Sustainable Business Network, and I'm thrilled to be here tonight to present the Regenerating Nature Award. All around the world, nature is under pressure and biodiversity is declining. We all have a role to play in turning the biodiversity crisis around. We at the Ministry for the Environment have been on board as a foundational partner of the Sustainable Business Network's Nature Program because we know businesses around the country want to do the right thing by nature. And of course, many are. Businesses are driving transformational change that will benefit both the environment and the economy by reducing emissions, building resilience, and creating a flourishing future for Aotearoa. We're very proud to celebrate those who are leading the charge in making change. Congratulations to tonight's finalists, and thank you all for what you do to protect Te Taiao. Here are our finalists for 2023.
Regenerating Nature Award, sponsored by Ministry for the Environment. Our finalists are Banks Peninsula Conservation Trust and Littleton Port Company. Carbon Crop. Forever Forests. Manaki Kaimai Mamaku Trust and Department of Conservation. Neo Leaders. Reconnecting Northland. South Wairarapa Veterinary Services. Te Whāngai Trust.
Oh, hello. the commendation, Anne?
Yes, I'm very proud to announce that the commendation goes to Forever Forests.
Forever Forests was created to fight climate change by protecting and enhancing the growth of native forests to absorb carbon in Aotearoa, New Zealand. They work with passionate landowners to diversify, protect, and regenerate native forests. They are our highly commended. A round of applause for Forever Forests. The winner.
And the winner is Reconnecting Northland.
The judges say this is a highly innovative organisation that is focused on connectivity conservation in Northland. As well as empowering communities on the ground, the organisation recognises the need to move to a more sustainable financial model for biodiversity. The judges strongly support the focus on developing sustainable nature-based enterprises around restoration activity. Reconnecting Northland has developed multiple revenue streams to support its initiative and just released its Te Kote Hona toolbox for community management of restoration activities. They are the winners of the category Reconnecting Northland.
I he wa mauri ora ki te whare. Tuatahi ake rā mihi kau atu nei ki Ngāti Whātua o Rakei. Tēnei te takiwā nui, te tapere nui o Tūperiri. Mihi kau atu nei mai maunga nui ki Tāmaki. O te rā kia tātou ko tau mai nei, mihi ana. E mihi ana, e mihi ana. Someone said it earlier, this is a genuine surprise. So thank you to obviously SPN, MFE, who are also a co-funder of our program, along with Tyndall Foundation, Foundation North, Cisco Foundation. Anyone? The biggest mihi actually goes to the communities that we work with. They're the ones that have opened up their driveways, ngahere, whenua, and entrusted us to work alongside them, to support them to, I suppose, realise or at least work towards realising their bold vision. Really, they're the ones where the solution, it is within those communities where the solutions lie to this whole kaupapa. They're the ones that are most impacted, and they're the ones that really have all the answers. So, yeah, hono. Mihi ana kia tātou. Kia ora.
Congratulations to all of the finalists and all of the winners. I always find it strange that they thank other people here, yet we're all thanking them for the wonderful work they do. The Supreme Award. The Transforming New Zealand Award is presented to an organisation that is performing outstandingly well in all aspects of sustainability. Sustainability is integrated throughout the organisation. The organisation demonstrates a sustained and future commitment to sustainability and an outstanding contribution to New Zealand. You cannot enter this award. This award is chosen by the judges from the winners. So, here are our finalists in the Transforming New Zealand Award for 2023. Ecotricity. Pathfinder Asset Management. Trade aid. Oh, that's all. I said that as if there was enough. That's all three. What about a round of applause for all three of them? All right, before we announce the winner of this very special award, I don't know whether he's winning or not yet. I haven't seen the news. Someone who's been playing a very long game of eeny, meeny, miny, moe It is Prime Minister-elect Christopher Luxon.
Well, kia ora and good evening, everyone. I'm sorry that I'm not able to be with you tonight for the Sustainable Business Awards, because I tell you, sustainability in business is truly worth celebrating, and I would absolutely love to be there to hear firsthand your inspiring stories and the practices and innovations that you're building into your respective businesses. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge a few of the dignitaries that are with you this evening, namely Auckland's Deputy Mayor Desley Simpson, my parliamentary colleagues, including James Shaw, Damien O'Connor, and Rachel Brooking, people from the Institute of Directors, and of course, all of the nominees and finalists. But also let me acknowledge Rachel Brown, the founder of Sustainable Business Network, and to say thank you, Rachel, for all the work that you and your team do driving this agenda. And of course, there's no show without the sponsors, so thank you to you too. I'm absolutely sure you're in for a fantastic evening. I understand this is actually the 21st year of these awards, and so they probably warrant a sustainability award in themselves. But importantly, in those 21 years, the case for sustainability is now unquestioned by business leaders. And if you just take a step back and reflect and think through from a global perspective, it is really clear that our whole world is facing unprecedented challenges. Whether it be population growth and rapid urbanisation, or poor sanitation and rising inequality, climate change, scarce water, expensive energy, insecure and expensive food supplies, and volatile commodity markets. And all of that is actually having an increasing impact on people's lives and also business. And this volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous world is now the new normal. And it demands that we're neither apathetic about it or panicked about it. It's the great challenge to our generation of business, community and political leaders. We just simply have to engage with this reality positively and confidently. What is also clear is that sustainability is a truly big global issue, and it needs solutions beyond our individual remits, influence, and the normal business challenges which we can resolve by ourselves. Partnerships between business, community, consumers, and government are absolutely key to unlocking those solutions. And it's going to require more interdependence, more collaboration, and different ways of working beyond the current practice. I make no apologies for being a former business person. In fact, I'm proud of it, as I hope all of you are too. And the reason is very simple. Business growth is absolutely mission critical to economic development and social progress. It's been business which has actually lifted billions of people all around the world out of poverty. And even in developed countries like New Zealand, we need business growth to provide employment and to support our social systems. But what is clear, however, is that we need to grow differently. As a business, we do not have the luxury of choice. We cannot choose between growth and sustainability. We need to have both. We need to grow if we're to have the money and the people and the technology to invest in better communities, more skilled people, alternative energies to replace carbon, greater biodiversity and product innovation. But we need to evolve and to find a way to grow within the limited resources of one planet. And I remain convinced that the businesses that address both the direct concerns of citizens and the needs of the environment will actually prosper over the long term. Thus, we need to build new business models, and that's what so many of you have been involved in here tonight. I have to tell you, it's proven sustainability is good for business. Because when you start to do things like reducing waste, we create efficiencies and we reduce costs, which then helps to improve our business margins. By taking a long-term view, we can reduce risk in our businesses, for example, in securing raw material supplies through sustainable sourcing. That's just common sense business continuity planning. And once you start looking at product and service development, sourcing and manufacturing through a sustainability lens, it actually opens up great opportunities for innovation, which in turn benefits the customer. So in summary, the business case for growing our company sustainably is compelling, and it's positive for our brand positioning, innovation, customers, trade partners, suppliers, and operational efficiencies, and our employee propositions. I know you know all of this, but to all of the finalists, can I just say in closing, my warmest congratulations to each and every one of you. Your success, I know, is incredibly hard-earned. Well done. Celebrate your evening well. And I look forward to visiting so many of your businesses in the coming months and years, and to see the results myself of your innovative hard work and commitment around building sustainability into what you do. Have an absolutely fantastic night. Take care.
Massive thanks. I'm going to go with that one. And a massive thanks to Christopher Luxon. We know how busy he has been over the last little while. He was hoping to be here couldn't be, recorded that this afternoon, and we got it just a little while ago. So, going to welcome Jacqueline Farman, the founding partner at the Purpose Business and chair of Sustainable Business Network board, to the stage, along with Rachel Brown, founder and CEO of SBN. Hello, Jacqueline. We'll have a few words from Jacqueline and then we're going to answer winner. So, shh.
Kia ora. For 21 years exactly, we heard tonight, the Sustainable Business Network has been working with Kiwi organisations to accelerate the shift to a low carbon and nature positive economy. But time is no longer on our side. Those 21 years are already gone. Wherever you are in your sustainability journey, whether you're just starting out or you want to move to the next level, the Sustainable Business Network have the tools and resources to help you move faster. So let's get going. Tonight, we are celebrating those fast movers, the change makers, and the amazing businesses that have put people, planet, and prosperity for all at the centre of their ambition and are helping to create a better future for all of us. All of our finalists and winners tonight have amazing stories to share, and I encourage you to seek them out. They should be enormously proud of the difference they're making and the changes that they are driving in our world. But one of those organisations stood out over and above all the rest in their industry-leading commitment to a more sustainable New Zealand. It is my absolute pleasure to announce the winner of the Supreme Award in the Sustainable Business Awards for 2023. Is there a drum roll? The winner is Pathfinder Asset Management.
To win the Supreme Award, all the elements must come together. The vision for a sustainable future, dedication to ethical practice and products that offer a far better alternative to the status quo. And then there is the X factor, impact. Pathfinder Asset Management delivers on all fronts. It has its own house in order and offers compelling products. Please don't fall off the back of the stage. It has compelling products that are both financially competitive and meet the highest ethical standards. But the judges said it is the impact that gives Pathfinder the edge. Under John Berry's leadership, Pathfinder have been a tireless champion of ethical investing and convinced cynical investors to redirect many millions of dollars into companies that make a positive difference. Pathfinder's success couldn't have happened at a more critical moment. When sustainability is under threat from greenwash and governments under pressure to cut corners, Pathfinder is demonstrating that people, planet and profit is not just a good idea, it is the most credible plan for business, citizens and Aotearoa. On behalf of everybody, congratulations to you, John, and Pathfinder Asset Management.
Thank you, everyone. I'm kind of awestruck and surreal. Where I'd like to start is thanking the other 73 finalists. There's some amazing companies, amazing NGOs, amazing leaders, wonderful mahi. Please keep up the amazing work. Thank you to the judges. Thank you to the absolutely amazing Pathfinder team. I'd like to thank T Radar for his work tonight. After the last award, my mum texted me and she said, T Radar likes your shoes.
They're great shoes.
Massive thank you to SBN and the SBN community. Back in 2017 to 2018, I had this idea for a new type of KiwiSaver that didn't just avoid harm, but actually focused on investing positively and investing for positive real world impacts. And everyone I spoke to said, you're insane. No one's interested in that. No one's going to invest in that. So I went on the SBN Sustainable Leadership course. And on that course, there were 20 other people from this community who helped me nurture the idea and encouraged me and tested the idea and gave me the confidence to launch it. And afterwards, I had a coffee with Rachel back in 2018, and she said to me, "Be bold." And that's the advice I give to all young entrepreneurs that come to me now who have great ideas, particularly around sustainability, is just be bold and make it happen. And we were bold and we launched. And since then, we've grown the amount of money we manage for our investors to over $600 million. We've given 1.2 million through our social enterprise approach to our 18 charity partners. We've funded 4 social housing projects. We've invested in amazing New Zealand businesses, from biodegradable Band-Aids through to companies that extract metals from e-waste rather than mining metals out of the ground. And we've generated great financial returns for our investors. And it's the Sustainable Business Network's leadership course that empowered me to do that. So I thank the SBN community for that. I'm forever grateful. And on behalf of the team, we're just stunned and awestruck and so proud to have this award tonight. Thank you.
Congratulations to John and the Pathfinder Asset Management team. Huge congratulations to all of the finalists and the winners tonight. It's been a very tough year, and we've had some incredible finalists and winners throughout this. We urge everybody to continue to take the action that you take to make Aotearoa and the world a much better place and to uplift the stories of success. A massive thanks to everybody who made this possible, the category sponsors, the event partners. We really want to thank the people who take the time to enter. I've been thinking a lot about this in the last little while. I host a lot of awards, and I have done so for a long time. And I think they're really important. We don't have a lot of ritual often within our lives, and these are a moment to pause and to reflect and to celebrate all of the great work that's being done like that. But here's, I think, the most important thing about awards. They are, there's that old saying, you can't see, you can't be what you cannot see. There are a lot of people out there who think, oh, maybe I can make a difference, maybe I can do it differently. Oh, I don't know. And then when you have great finalists like we have tonight, and when you have winners like we have tonight, they are up there on a pedestal. They cement themselves not only into the history of this awards, but into the history of the country, and they provide something that other people can look at and aspire to and think, if they can do it, I can do it. And I think they're really important. So, as surely as the sun has set over the distant horizon, where I will be heading back to later this evening to the beautiful foothills of the Waitakates, where one day it will stop raining, and then we will complain about the climate change that has affected that. Like, times are going to be difficult in the near future. The sun will rise again tomorrow, and we will be back here next year with many familiar faces. And what is great about this award over its many 21 years, a whole lot of different faces. A whole lot of people have said, I can do something, and who are willing to put themselves up on the parapet to be judged against their peers for the excellence that they do. A massive thanks to everyone who does this. Thanks to everybody who's come along, as we say. I really love these awards. It's almost the last thing I do in the course of the year, and I can honestly say, of all of the awards I get to host throughout the course of this year, this one has been the most recent. So, you're not allowed to leave without eating all the food. I can't say the same for the alcohol. Drink responsibly. Here's the most important thing. You're in a room of your peers. There's a great quote. Sorry, I should have finished on a laugh. I'm not. I think the thing that gives us a massive advantage in this world, there's a quote at the beginning in the preface of Sir Paul Callaghan's book, New Zealand is not a small country. No. Yes. No, New Zealand is not a small country. It's a big village. I think that's really true. There are few places in the world where the cream of society, the business and the sustainability people can all be in one room at the same time. Welcome to those online. Take the chance and the opportunity in the room over the next little while to chat to people that you want to chat to exchange your email addresses, to do whatever, because the serendipitous conversation that happens here will be the change that we see next year or the year after or the year after. And finally, as Christmas comes and you're with people, don't be the people who turn up to an event and start to moan about something. Be the people who turn up to the event and go, hey, I saw this amazing business that did something. Hey, have you heard about that young person who did this? Have you seen those rangatahi up in Northern who are doing this? And celebrate the stories that you see here and you see around you, because it's really easy to continue this vortex of negativity when we're actually surrounded by a whole lot of phenomenal people. I am keeping you from the food and drink. Take care. Get out of here. See you next year. Oh. And what about a massive one big final applause? 21 years of the Sustainable Business Awards. What about a massive applause for that? Go home. Stay. Eat the food.
One for them hood girls, them good girls, straight masterpieces. Styling, wildin', living it up in the city. Got Chuck's on with Saint Laurent, gotta kiss myself, I'm so pretty. I'm too right.